Well, you mentioned feminism really quick, so why don't I ask, going around the table, who here is a feminist? Starting with you.
I don't claim any kind of side, but I guess if you ask me questions, I probably have some takes that are on either side. No, I wouldn't say I am.
So you wouldn't say you're a feminist?
No, I wouldn't say I'm a feminist.
Okay.
Just I'm non-denominational.
I wouldn't say I'm a feminist, no.
I'm not a feminist.
I am.
Not a feminist.
Can I ask
I'm
you to
assuming.
define what that means?
Well, I mean, there's different definitions. People define it
Exactly.
differently. There's a couple different charitable definitions I could give it. The way I've described it in the past is, and this is a charitable definition, is feminism is it's a women's advocacy movement.
In that sense, I would say no.
It's not an equality movement.
That's fair.
And I actually don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with women's advocacy, but it's certainly not, in my view, it's not an equality movement.
Well, to quote Jordan Peterson, I do think it's equal opportunity is important, but the guaranteed outcome is not fair. So yeah, I do think that men and women should have equal rights. Absolutely, there should be laws in place to protect women. I'm all for that. But this
Hold
idea
on, why
that,
should there be, when you say there should be laws in place to protect women, what do you mean? Because that doesn't sound like equality. If the laws are only to protect women, that's not really egalitarian, is it?
fair? I should have clarified, like a family setting, like with children or something like that.
Or maybe the fact that women were the ones who lacked the same equal rights. So that's why the
There was
movement began.
disparity.
Like, even objectively, I'm not a feminist, and I see a lot of issues, particularly with second wave feminism. But yeah, like you're not saying that men shouldn't also have rights. You're just saying that women had to
Yes.
catch up to the same rights.
Yes,
like
but once
owning
they're
a bank
there,
account and whatever else.
But right now, I think it's fair to say, like, it goes back to the trans debate too. Sorry to bring that. Sorry, is that a word I'm not allowed to say on here?
We were talking
Trans
about it earlier.
acceptable? Okay. Like, are there any laws that these people don't have that we have now? Or, I mean, just keep it to men and women. But I feel like men and women do have legally the same rights right now for the most part.
Yeah.
So I feel like I think it's fair that we can probably stop at that. But I think the whole idea of men being trash or evil or bad or pieces of shit, I really can't get on board with that.
It's just sexism. It's
Yeah.
Are you a
It's like
feminist?
basically racist.
No?
CPR ICE 1824 donated $200. Pardon, I missed the intro, so I don't know your name. But divorce, I shot at the title.
At the title of what? Like my next husband?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, he's shooting a shot.
You have her Instagram.
What you look like? Are you smart?
Are you going
What's
to
your
hide behind a
IQ?
screen?
See, Price, hey, she's open-minded. She's asking if you're smart, what's your IQ, and she also wants to know your pee-pee size. So please include that in your next chat. She's dying to know all these things. Okay, so feminists, some feminists, you're a feminist. Okay, good to know. We'll touch on feminism a little later on in the show. You said in your pre-show notes, men being unwilling to commit and expecting physical intimacy without commitment, but you can't blame them given the current climate, how women are conducting themselves. But you were raised relatively traditionally, so it's been a real challenge for you. Just a question for you: do you want kids?
That's a good question. I feel like I would need to have the right partner. Like, I would never want to be a single mother, just personal preference. I think that'd be really challenging. And I think also statistically, the studies do show that children do thrive best with both a mother and a father. So
Right.
would I just want a kid to have a kid? No. If I met a man in the next couple of years who wanted a child and he was the right person, yes, I would consider that. But I don't really want to have a kid after 40. So
You don't want to have a. Well, what if you did meet that right guy after 40?
I would just have to really consider that. I think there's some health risks there, and I think I physically could.
Right. Well, would you want?
It would not be my preference.
Okay.
No.
You said you're also.
Doc Venabilly donated $200. Men with the dark
Good to see you
tetrad
in
and
the chat.
women with cluster B are more likely to engage in short-term mating strategies. Feminism has helped normalize all this mental pathology.
That's totally
well
true.
put. Well put.